The gig economy is something that a lot of people are worried about. People are no longer holding on to fixed jobs and staying in it for a couple of years. They're starting to move around more between one job to another, taking up freelance work, doing contract work, and parents are getting worried about it. People are getting worried about that. But I feel like I'm doing pretty okay in it. Other than running Praxium, I also do a lot of freelance work. Some of them with the government, some of them with SMEs, some of them with startups. Most of the work I'm doing involves a bit of programming, a bit of web design, web development, and that's really the kind of niche and the kind of skill sets I've been developing for myself over the past few years. I grew up playing a lot of video games, a lot. Whatever you see that I have is probably just 10% of all the games I've ever played, probably less than 10%. And in playing a lot of these games, you tend to face a lot of challenges. Sometimes you play the games and you hit this level you don't know how to clear. Sometimes you hit this boss fight that is too challenging for you, or you hit this puzzle where you're not too sure how to get around it. And a lot of those times you just end up going online, figuring it out and solving it yourself. You see what other people do, you learn from them, you ask questions, and then you figure it out and you get through the games. And in every game you're going to face troubles like that, and you're going to face challenges like that. And then you gotta learn how to get around it using your own resources or finding out online, finding out by yourself. When I was around 9 to 12, that's when blogging really picked up. Sites like Blogger, sites like Blogspot, they were really getting very popular. It was also the same time that this website called Neopets was really popular. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. And on Neopets, that's where you really spend a lot of your time online, just messing around with your friends, trying out different games. It was also around that time where I started to pick up Photoshop, because as people were setting up their own blogs, instead I thought, hey, maybe I'll just post some pictures instead. I'll learn Photoshop and create some cool graphics and upload it, and that's all I would do. So when I was around 10, I still remember going down to the library to borrow books on tutorials about how to do this Photoshop effect, how to create this graphical effect. And then I'll just upload it onto my blog. It wasn't particularly hard. You just had to go to the library, borrow a book, and pick it up. When I was around 22, that was when I was in university, I found myself having to do a lot of projects. And in these projects, I had to use things like Photoshop to create posters, to create graphics. And I was really familiar with it already because I have been doing it since I was 10. I literally could say at the age of 22 that I have 10 years of experience using Photoshop. And I did. And it surprised me that a lot of my classmates didn't know how to use it, and school never really taught you how to use it either. So I ended up having to teach classes to my fellow students, to my peers, to my juniors, to some of my seniors even, about how to use certain of these design software like Photoshop, like Illustrator. It was also around that time that I picked up HTML and CSS again. I had things I wanted to do. I wanted to hack this game. I wanted this game to do this thing. I wanted to create this graphic. I wanted to put this online. And I had all those things that I wanted to do, so I became very used to just learning things online, not having to go for courses, not having to go for classes. And it all really started with a very physical process of knowing what's a problem, wanting to solve the problem, and then finding ways to get information so I can deal with it. A big reason why I'm still doing pretty well in the gig economy is because I have this, I feel like I have this attitude or this mindset that even if it was a job that I wasn't ready for, I wasn't prepared for, as long as I wanted to do it, I could find the motivation and I knew how to go and learn it. I think that's a big thing when you talk about thriving in the gig economy, because in a gig economy where things change so much and it's going to continue to change at an even faster rate, you can't just expect a single source of knowledge like school, like a certain workshop or a certain tuition center or enrichment center to give you everything you need to know. A big part of how we teach at Praxium really is to set a project or a problem for you to try and solve and let you struggle through that and let you learn through that so that you know how to find the resources you need. You know how the process of self-learning happens. You learn how to learn by yourself. And a big part of that is by not teaching you. It's by giving you problems to solve. School alone is not going to really help you learn that because most of the time everyone tries to help you too much. Your teachers try to help you too much. Your parents try to help you too much, and you get a lot of guided answers and model answers, and you don't have the opportunity to learn how to overcome challenges on your own with your own resources. You're gonna face problems where the solution's not very obvious and you need to figure out your own way of overcoming that challenge in a way that people can't recommend you. It's not like your parents are gonna come and tell you, oh, to clear this level, you just need to do these few steps. I think a big part about succeeding in the gig economy is really having that self-motivation, that desire to keep learning, to keep upgrading yourself, to keep picking up new skills.